Here we go then, second and final race of the weekend for the BLU CRU R3 World Cup, and it's Imon Bocanegra racing under the Brazilian flag. Fastest lap from Saturday's race 1 cements his pole position for Sunday's race 2. In the championship, Alex Di Persio is leading Chris Clark by 36 points. So Greg Haynes with you here in the commentary box for the last time this weekend before we get into the real heart of the action for the R3 World Cup for 2025. And what a selection of winners we've already had so far this season. Alex Di Persio is the only rider who's actually won on more than one occasion thus far. And yesterday's victor, a very, very popular winner indeed, was Aragon from Indonesia. A special hello from all of us here in Hungary to all of you watching with us on the Yamaha Racing YouTube page. And a special hello in particular to all of you in Indonesia. I know a few of you were actually saying hello to us here in the commentary box yesterday. So good afternoon as we see Imon Bocanegra with that Ayrton Senna replica crash helmet. Just looking at the weather conditions, it's 23 degrees Celsius, ambient temperature 32 degrees Celsius, track temperature. And just to run you through yesterday's results again, Agaska won from Di Persio, who every time he finishes is at least second. Absolutely stunning performance from Alex so far. Tepai Kugawa was third from Bocanegra, who starts on pole today, and then Chris Clark. Wind speed 11 kilometers per hour, that is 6 miles per hour, but I've just walked across the paddock and it's not too bad at all here in Hungary. We've already had Portimao, Misano and Donington Park, and then obviously the Aragon win here yesterday, and then a break until the end of September. So 2 months off after this race, and Aragon will continue the proceedings ahead of the finale, not in Jerez, where the World Superbike title will be decided if it goes to the last round, but in Estoril. Estoril in Portugal will be the last round this year for what is season 5 of the R3 World Cup. There's your championship situation. So Alex Di Persio from Pescara will be leading whatever happens at the end of the afternoon. Clark, Kugawa, Sales and Agaska, yesterday's winner, completing your top 5. But look how close it is. Third and fourth are tied. Agaska only 2 points behind. So this is the category for riders aged 14 to 20, who is going to have assistance financially and technically with a ride in the new Sport Bike World Championship next season. That is the question. It all depends on who wins this championship. And here we go then for the second race of the weekend, the last race of the weekend for the R3 World Cup here at Balaton Park in Hungary. Bocanegra, number 23, tips it down into turn 1. He's searching for his first victory in the championship. And it's a great start for Imon Bocanegra, the 15-year-old Barcelona-born rider, now competing under a Brazilian flag. Okanuki is up into second position. Great start for the Japanese rider. And then it's the Caribbean rider, the Dominican Republic competitor, Charlie Mendes, in third place. He is number 6 as we make our way down the back straight. Look at the crocodile as everybody's trying to break the slipstream of the rider behind them, and the medical car bringing up the rear in the first lap medical chase. There goes Agaska up the inside, yesterday's winner, slotting through into second position. David Novak is away well again. Turn 7, turn 8, and down to the chicane at 9 and 10. Bocanegra. Novak attacks on the inside line. Agaska's in the middle. Number 6 is Charlie Mendes. Agaska is all over the place through the chicane, and he's managed to hold it together. Mario Sales in 8th position. Another Brazilian just sorting himself out. Tremendous amount of lean angle there from Agaska. Mendes in the middle. Agaska shooting down the outside and into the chicane at the back of the circuit, turns 12 and 13. If you're wondering who Dumitru is on the graphics, that's Dragos Petru Dumitru, who's a 15-year-old Romanian wildcard making his debut in the field this weekend, and he completes the field at the moment down in 19th place. Big moment on the front of the R3 in third place there for David Novak. Number 46, the 16-year-old from Poznan in Poland, a lifelong Valentino Rossi fan. But look at number 6, Charlie Mendes, all the way down the green paint on the outside of turn 17. Scary moment there for Charlie. Boccanegra on the inside line, and Agaska leads. Agaska aiming for a double here in Hungary. Okanuki going very wide indeed out of the first corner. He was up to second initially on the opening lap, but this is a 10-lap race, and there's still 9 remaining, including this one. Through the left-hander of turn 4, down the back straight and into the braking zone of turn 5. You'll know when they hit the brakes because the front of the bike will dramatically dip. There. Oh, 42, Mario Sales having a moment under braking. He's taking Charlie Mendes. Mendes was 4th coming into the back straight and now drops down into 7th position. Okanuki there, number 31. Japanese rider, 18 years of age from Fukushima, part of the BLU CRU Yamaha Racing Asia Pacific scheme. For those of you who've been with us all through our live coverage of the R3 World Cup, which started in 2024, will know that there are several national R3 championships in all sorts of different countries and regions around the world. Agaska back up the inside of Boccanegra to retake the lead. But we have a Spanish championship, a French series, the Benelux contest, Italy, Thailand and South America. And all of those riders in this race today have made their names for themselves in their national series and now climbing up the BLU CRU ladder to the World Cup, and that was close. Kugawa now leads, and he just chops the nose off Alex de Percio as they tip it into the final chicane. Lap 3 of 10, 8 to go. And at the moment, this is absolutely incredible. 16 riders are locked together here in the leading group. Yesterday, we had the 7th closest finish in well over 50 races of the championship, when only 23 thousandths of a second covered Agaska and de Percio in the top 2 positions, and less than 1/10 of a second covering all 3 riders on the podium. Now, what's de Percio doing? As he cuts to his left-hand side, what he's doing is trying to break the slipstream of those behind. He's punching a nice hole in the air there as the leading bike, and everybody else is trying to take advantage of that, and that's why he's trying to move across there. De Percio with the Arco Moto R University team. The Arco scheme is a wonderful idea based in Valencia, the Arco University. And there's not just riders who are involved, but also mechanics and technicians as well. They also have a team in the Supersport 300 World Championship. Supersport 300 with the World Series haven't been racing here this weekend, and they weren't at Donington either, but I'm delighted to say they will be back after a very long break at Manicourt in France in 6 weeks' time. Boccanegra in 4th place, had a look behind him there, and enjoy this, because this is some of the best motorcycle racing you will see on the planet. I'm absolutely thrilled to say that our live audiences are going up all the time, and somebody is coasting down on the right-hand side. That's Tepai Kugawa. That was a novel line through the chicane. Alex de Percio, number 69, he's 18 years old from Pescara in Italy. Behind him, Arai Agaska, 17 years old from Indonesia. Tepai Kugawa, 17 years of age from the Japanese capital city of Tokyo. I'm on Boccanegra with the Ayrton Senna helmet, turned 15 earlier this month. Based in Barcelona in Spain. And we've seen him racing before under a Spanish flag, also the Peruvian flag, and now the Brazilian flag because of his dual nationality. Parents from 2 different continents. Novak, the Polish rider, is 5th. Charlie Mendes is 6th. Then it's Salis. Emanuele Pastore in 8th place. Okanuki is 9th. Chris Clark, who won the first race of the year back at Portimao in Portugal, is 10th at the moment, ahead of Angelo Motola, the Italian. Troy Savitsa, number 21, from Prague in the Czech Republic, backed by the former world and British superbike rider Jakob Smerts. There's Chris Clark, also in the Smerts crew. He's teammate to Troy Savitsa. Mr. Percio continues to defend from Arai Agaska. I know Alex's fear is always getting sucked back into the pack. You watch, every time he's passed, which happens quite often in this class with the benefit of the slipstream, he'll never allow himself to drop any lower than 2nd or 3rd place. Quite similar to what we've seen Kenan Sofoglu doing in the past, en route to 5 Supersport World titles. You can hear the riders bouncing off the rev limiter just before they hit the brakes for turn 12. It's very much a compromise. It's better to hit the rev limiter very briefly than shift up and straight back down again with the Yamaha gearbox, and somebody's had a big moment there. Oh, and down as well. And it's David Novak, number 46. It tried to get away from him. He held it, and then it went again. And the Polish rider might be able to rejoin. Otherwise, he's out of the race at the end of lap 3. 7 to go, down into turn 1. De Percio, Agaska, Boccanegra has a look at Tepai Kugawa. Kugawa was a winner for the first time at Donington Park in England, last time out 2 weeks ago. And David Novak rejoins the race. He's knocked the right brake protector down on the handlebar. Now let's have a look. He's run wide, almost saves it there, but all to no avail. And I can tell you, as we're watching this replay, we've got another crash out there because Christoph Barta, the 15-year-old Hungarian, also a wild card this weekend, is out as well. He's crashed at turn 1. So Barta is out. Novak has rejoined, as you saw for yourself, and is the last remaining rider in 18th position. There is Barta. Bit of a baptism of fire for Christoph as he debuts with the BRR team this weekend. He's back on. That was turn 1 where he's had his incident. And so it's Kugawa now leading. He had a podium with 2nd place in Portimao. Then he was back on the podium when he won at Donington. 3rd yesterday in race 1. Can he win for the 2nd time this season? If it stays like this, Kugawa will actually eclipse Chris Clark and move up into 2nd position in the R3 World Cup of 2025. Currently led by Alex De Percio. Through goes De Percio. Through goes Agaska as well. And Kugawa is demoted now to 3rd place. With Imon Boccanegra very much keeping a watching brief, isn't he? In 4th position. Down into turn 1, and this is the 2nd lap of the race. And now I am delighted to say that there is a record number of you watching with us live on YouTube, and the on-demand numbers continue to increase as well. Thank you so much from all of us here at Yamaha. I'm so glad you're enjoying these races with us. It's really hotting up now as we move into the final 5 laps. And yes, we can see all of those comments of yours streaming in on the YouTube page. Top 4 locked together, and then it's 1.1 seconds back to Salis, Okanuki, Pastore, Mendes and Clark, who are 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th. Down into 4th is Boccanegra. Briefly 3rd there, but he couldn't make it stick in the braking zone. Agaska, desperate to prevent De Percio from winning again. Just one weekend so far this season on which De Percio hasn't won either of the 2 races, and that was the opener on the Portuguese Algarve back to the end of March. Runs wide. Is Agaska ahead? Yes, he is. As the top quartet continue to jostle, it's dropping them back into that 2nd group. There's now just 2.5 seconds covering the top 9 riders in this race. I was mentioning yesterday that Aimon Boccanegra is working extremely close with all of those involved in Yamaha Brazil. Alan Douglas, especially over there. And actually chatting with Aimon the other day, and there he is, number 23. He was just saying how much he's taking in the moment and enjoying life as well, this opportunity to travel all around Europe and of course all over the world for him, because he's often making trips across the pond to Brazil to see the family he has over there. So very much in a good place, as you can see on Aimon Boccanegra's Instagram updates, which are very regular indeed. Okay, 4 to go. Let's just keep calm here. Impossible to predict. And what can Okanuki do? There he is. There he is, the 18-year-old from Fukushima in Japan, part of the BLU CRU Yamaha Racing Asia Pacific scheme. If you are joining us for the first time, there are no headlamps on these bikes as there are in endurance racing. You'll see plenty of that with the Suzuka 8-hour next weekend. However, it is an FIM regulation that these bikes need to have headlamp stickers to look as much like the road-going equivalent as they possibly can. However, here in the R3 World Cup, we've substituted one of those headlamp stickers for a flag of the rider's nationality. You can see their flags on the aerodynamic hump on the back of the racing leathers as well. The riders are free to choose their own crash helmet design. Many of them, of course, basing that on their nationality. Others due to sponsor commitments and, of course, personal preference as well. That's Mario Salles there, number 42. He's currently in 6th place. Super Mario was a winner in Portimao back at the start of the season, 2nd at Donington in the Sunday race there, and he was 7th in race 1 here yesterday. Salles starting his 18th race in the World Cup here today. There's 3 laps to go when we cross the line. There is Salles. There's that Brazilian flag on the right-hand side of the bike. Look at the lean angle there for the young Brazilian, just 17 years old, from Almirante Tamarade in São Paulo. Pastore, number 55, is now attacking him from Segrate in Italy. And there goes Agasca, jams on the back brake, which is why you see the bike almost coming around on him, but they're side by side. Kugawa's on the outside, Agasca goes through. Arai Agasca leading again off the back of that first race win here for him yesterday at Balaton Park. Lap 8 of 10, and that means that we are critically now, since the end of lap 6, into the final third of the race. So if the race is stopped for any reason, it would not be restarted and full championship points would be distributed. That's 25 for the win, 20 for second, 16 for third, down to 1 for 15th place, mirroring the point system of the MotoGP World Championship and the World Superbike Championship, not to mention all of their support categories. Depercio towards us. Okanuki is number 31. Boccanegra with the yellow helmet. Agasca hung out to dry there on the outside. Agasca was leading at the start of the lap, and now he's down to 4th. Boccanegra has a look at Kugawa. Aimon Boccanegra has been on the podium once so far this season, but is striving for a first win. This is race 8 of the season of 12. 2 races per weekend. And we've had 5 winners from the 7 races so far. Clark, Kugawa, Salles and Depercio, not to mention Agasca yesterday. But Depercio is the only multiple winner. 3 times atop the podium thus far. Can he make it 4? Here in Hungary, somebody's running wide in the background. That was Charlie Mendes. They need to be careful not to do that on the final lap, because if they do, it would be an automatic dropping of at least 1 position. I have to say, the riding standards have been sublime so far across the weekend since a new penalty point system's been introduced by Yamaha. I hope I'm not jinxing anything by saying that, but what was a top leading group of 6 not that long ago is now definitely, as you can see for yourself, a heck of a lot more than that. It's 9 of them. De Percio, Boccanegra, Kugawa, Agasca, Okanuki, Pastore, Sales, Clark, and Mendes. And then it's a gap of 5 seconds back to Germano in 10th place. Mottler is still 11th from Savitzer. Gene Turner, who's had a tricky weekend here, including a crash in race 1 yesterday, coming out of turn 11. He's down in 13th place. Then it's Sunselar and Palmolski. Sunselar from the Netherlands and Palmolski from Poland in 15th position. Danny Krabacher from Austria is 16th. David Novak, after a crash for the Polish rider, out of the leading group, still running down in 17th position. Dimitru is 18th on his debut weekend, and Barta is actually still running as well. So despite crashes for Barta and Novak, they're both still running in the race. There's Emanuele Pastore from Italy. He's down in 7th place in the championship if it stays like this, but he's 6th in the race. But now, here we go. Hold on to your seats. We're coming through to the last lap. Kugawa's leading. De Percio will be mindful of the fact that he was taken out at turn 1 at the start of the last lap of the Sunday race back in Portugal. 4 kilometres to go, 2.4 miles remaining of this all-new anti-clockwise layout here at Balaton Park in Hungary. Just 2 rounds to go in the R3 World Cup after this at Motorland, Aragon and Estoril. And who is going to win? Tepai Kugawa from Japan has the advantage. Alessandro De Percio, your championship leader, and he will lead the standings at the end of this race, regardless of what happens over the next half lap, is number 69 in 2nd position. I'm on Boccanegra. Started on pole, number 23. He's currently 3rd. And then yesterday's winner, Arai Agasca from Indonesia, number 38. Boccanegra having a look at De Percio through the left-hander of turn 6, 7, and then into 8. There's Chris Clark from Arlington in Virginia in the United States. Wouldn't be surprised if he pops into Moto America next weekend. Agasca up the inside from 4th position, and he's 2nd now. Incredible manoeuvre from Arai Agasca, the 17-year-old from Indonesia, and he almost takes the lead. Boccanegra's up the inside of Kugawa. Alex De Percio, the championship leader, runs wide, and Arai Agasca is leading again here in Hungary. 2 chicanes to go now. Left, right, through turn 13. This is the acceleration zone of 14, and we're coming up to that last complex now here at Balaton. De Percio in the tow, Agasca going all the way down the inside line. If he's too tight into the corner, he'll compromise the exit. De Percio's gone round him. Remarkable stuff from Alex De Percio, and I think he's got this, providing he doesn't make an error. He has not made an error, but Agasca's in the slipstream. De Percio's got it. Absolutely fantastic racecraft again for Alex De Percio. His 4th victory from 8 races. He has a 50% success rate of wins so far, and amazingly, from 8 races, he has won 4 with 3 second places. De Percio extends his championship lead to 53 points ahead of Chris Clark, heading to Aragon in 2 weeks' time, and that therefore means mathematically that De Percio could claim the title when we get to Spain. Look how calm he is. Nonchalantly just stops at the side of the track for a laid-back conversation with the Hungarian marshals. Italian flag awaits him. He had that all covered off, didn't he? Alex De Percio, number 69 from Pescara in Italy, the 18-year-old with the Arco University team. We've seen plenty of success for them before, of course, when Alvaro Diaz won the World Supersport 300 title with the Arco squad. And there is Arai Agasca. He and De Percio have scored identical points here this weekend. 45 apiece for 1 win and 1 second. Switching it round in this one. A 10.5 between the two of them, but Agasca now beginning to charge his way up the championship. He's now into 3rd in the standings, 1 point behind Chris Clark, who maintains second place. So, De Percio leads by 53 points. 1 point behind him is Agaska, and a further 5 behind him is Tepai Kugawa, and then only 4 points back to Mario Sales, who completes your top 5. So it's very, very close, with only 10 points covering 2nd through 5th, but the leader, De Percio, has a colossal advantage at this point in the proceedings of 53. Well done to Aimon Bocanegra. Aimon, I know you'll be pleased when you watch this back. He was with his brother the other day in Barcelona, posting lots of training videos, and they've had a little bit of downtime as well since Donington Park with a weekend off. And here he comes, number 23, for another podium. His 3rd in total, and Bocanegra's 2nd rostrum of the season after he finished 3rd at Misano in Italy at the 2nd of the 4 rounds we've had so far. Bocanegra then, lifelong Ayrton Senna fan, and that's why he runs that tribute helmet, and the all plain white design there for Alex De Percio. His racecraft is second to none. The way he can read the situations and put himself in the best possible place on the track on the final laps as he just locks up the rear, leads a massive black line of Pirelli tyre rubber all the way down the track, and as ever, the winner of the race is going to be the last one back to the pit complex. Mottala, he really was the loser there, wasn't he, unfortunately? He lost 7 positions down to 11th, so bad luck there for Andrea Mottala, the Italian rider. In comes Bocanegra. You can see him smiling, look, through the dark crash helmet visor. He was 3rd. It was very, very close, though. He was only 0.02 of a second ahead of Tepai Kugawa for that 3rd place. Well done, Aimon. He had to work for that one. He has to work for all of them, but especially this one. And his idol, Senna, of course, was the master of Monaco and the 3-time F1 world champion in the McLaren in 1988, and then again back-to-back in 90 and 91. This is Agaska. He was doing the Aura farming moves yesterday after winning for the first time in the championship. The Yamaha R3 Blue CRU World Cup. It's a championship that's even more equal this year, with the chassis measurements now all fixed for all of the riders. Only the front and rear suspension springs can actually be modified. 1 technician as well now for every 2 riders. So it means the riders have to spend less money in bringing their own technicians across. And there's a lot of talks going on, I can tell you, about how to expand the training camp initiative for next year, as well as the R3 World Cup officially supports the new World Sport Bike category for the first time. That'll be taking over from the Supersport 300 World Championship. Alex De Percio comes in. Extremely mature and calm so far, but I'm sure the celebrations are about to begin in earnest as he literally makes contact with the fans there with his left glove, and the Italian tricolore flag. Herbie Blash from the board at Yamaha, I noticed, is down there. And Herbie, like Paul Denning, like Andrea Dossoli, like Nicolo Canepa, keeping a very close eye on the up-and-coming talents here, because we might even be looking at a future MotoGP or Superbike world champion. Perfect indeed. And nice to see Roberta Ponziani down there as well from the Women's Circuit Racing World Championship. De Percio wins then from 8 races so far this season. He's had 4 wins, 3 second places, and 1 retirement. That wasn't even his fault. Agaska second. So each of those two have had a win and a second here and score identical points this weekend, with Bocanegra 3rd. That's his second podium of the season. Kugawa was fourth from his fellow Japanese rider Okanuki. Then it was Pastore from Italy, Salis from Brazil, and Clark, who lost out in terms of points there in 8th place while he's been learning the circuit this weekend. Charlie Mendes was 9th and completing the leading group. Just 1.3 seconds then, covering the top 9 riders, would you believe? 10th, 11th, 12th and 13th with Germano, Mottala, Savitsa and Turner. They were all together as they crossed the line. And then another 3 locked together, Palmolsky, Sunsalar and Krabacher. Sadly for Krabacher, even though he was side by side with Sunsalar, he just missed out there on an R3 World Cup point. But as for De Percio, he's now going to join Mr. Oliver Rushby himself. What an amazing success rate, winning half of the races so far. And one hand maybe now on the title.
Alessandro De Percio, a 4th victory of the season, an extended championship lead. How was that?
Always amazing winning the R3 World Cup, because it's always a big fight with more strong guys. I'm so happy to win here in Hungary. My first time here in the circuit. I don't know, I'm very happy, I don't have words. Thank you to Arco Motor University team, Arco Valvules, and my family and all my sponsors. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Oh, and was Alex just beginning to choke up just a little bit there? He was close to tears. He normally manages to keep them away. Lovely to see that. This is the last corner. A Gasca up the inside of Boccanegra for 2nd position. Out of the last corner, and look how Agasco with the red helmet's trying to get down as low as he can under the screen there in the slipstream, and he's so annoyed because the start-finish line comes up very early here, and Agasco knew that he had not done enough as he went up through the gearbox there on that pursuit of this man De Percio to the line. Alex knew exactly what he was doing. Back at Donington last time out, go back and have a look on the Yamaha Racing YouTube page. If you go to Yamaha Racing and open the main page and then click on live and go back down through the videos, you will see a phenomenal last lap from De Percio, and he pulled the pin at Donington and pulled away from everybody, and it prevented them from slipstreaming him on the final lap. He had to employ different techniques and tactics here, because this is obviously a very different layout of circuit. It's more difficult to pull away when you're constantly slowing and accelerating with the sequence of corners and chicanes we have here at Balaton Park. Thank you again to all of us for watching, or all of you I should say, for watching. We will be back at Aragon at the end of September, and then Estoril halfway through October, but we're not going just yet. We've still got the podium ceremony here. De Percio wins for the 4th time this year and the 5th time in his career, and he's now up to 10 podiums in total, 7 of those 10 in 2025. And that now is moving, I can tell you, De Percio very, very close to the overall record. 2 more podiums for De Percio, and he will equal the R3 Cup record of Kevin Fontana, who is on 12 podiums.
And the 25 championship points go to your race winner. And the
Aldi Mahendra there, of the Yamaha Blue Crew himself, reigning Supersport 300 world champion.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the national anthem of the winning rider, the national anthem of Italy. into the top three, if I could ask our second and third classified riders, Ayman and Arai, join together please with Alessandro. We'll get the official photograph. Thank you guys.
Must say I'm enjoying the sunglasses of Fuji Takashi, who was up there, the YMC, Yamaha Motor Corporation representative, who was handing out the trophies to our top three. A very, very happy podium here then in Hungary.
And now for the final time this weekend.
Stunning consistency so far this season for the 18-year-old Alex Di Persio from Pescara in Italy. Another great win. That's only one race weekend when he's not had at least one win so far this season. He's now won 4 races with 3 second places from the 8 races we've had so far. A gasket, well done to him again on his maiden win here on Saturday, with Boccanegra completing the podium. And all of the riders have finished both of the races here. Well done to the whole field. All 19 who started finished every one of the racing laps this weekend. Di Persio could win the cup next time out at Aragon. We will see. Look how close the points are though for 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. And also in Aragon we will see Ivan Spada rejoining the action, the Italian who already has excited us at Donington earlier on in the season just 2 weeks ago. So thank you very much from all of us here at Yamaha Racing. The show brought to you from Ian Wheeler, Greg Haynes here in the commentary box, and Ollie Rushby with the microphone down in Parc Ferme. Di Persio has one hand on the trophy, but he has to wait for some time now until we get underway in Aragon on the 27th of September. We'll see you there.